Welcome to episode 9 of Walking the Walk.
So we go one more higher day Saturday and then obviously plan of action for the week ahead.
You don't want your grip being a limiting factor, so welcome to episode 9 of Walking the Walk, and we are out at Willen Lake. So this place is like basically on my doorstep. It's like my back garden. I'm here most mornings in all honesty, so I thought we would start off today's episode just out here, getting in the morning walk, getting in some sort of sunlight. So lots planned in for today. We're going to start off the day with some cryotherapy. We're going to go over to Rest and Recover, which is just outside of Milton Keynes, and then as ever we're going to be getting into the check-in and the training session. You may have noticed that I'm in a bit of a different tee this morning. So happy to say I got some samples in from the distributor with the brand. So I'm rocking that today, and I'm pretty happy with how they're looking in actual fact. So we're going to get some more of those printed out for clients alike. I think this morning I want to maybe reflect a little bit on the journey thus far. Not all the way, because I think that will come next week, but the morning is often a time where I sort of reflect on, you know, what's gone on in the week or what I've got coming up in the day. So I'm going to let you guys in on that this morning. When in Rome, right, that's enough. So yesterday, which was Monday, I had a bit of a higher carb day. So me and coach sort of decided that we're going to throw a bit of a higher carb day in to see how my body responds the day after. And it's a funny one, because when you start putting more food into the body when you are depleted, it doesn't really touch the sides to a degree. And actually it just makes you feel even more hungry. So full disclosure, I want to keep you guys in the loop throughout this process and be as transparent as possible. I slightly overate on calories. I probably ate more protein than I should have done. Carbs were decent at around 300 grams, and that was the target. But protein, I definitely slightly overate on that. So I will be checking in with coach today just to give him the heads up on the fact that that was the case. And then we'll put the plan of action in for the week ahead. We're obviously getting into the last couple of weeks now. When we get to Friday this week, we'll actually be moving into peak week, which is pretty exciting. And during peak week, it's just a case of just reducing stress, getting your body into a really good place, recovering, and just showing up with your best look on shoot day, obviously. And then the fun begins after that, because the job is certainly not done when we get to that point. So I've spoken a few times during this series about the whole health side of things and how it's not just about the aesthetic, and I wanted to ensure that I was taking care of the health side of things as much as possible. Hence, I have taken 1 or 2 blood tests in recent times. The last one I did was around 4 weeks ago. Generally, things were in a really good place at that point in the dieting phase. There were 1 or 2 readings that came back a little bit off, and due to that, I had a second reading done just with my doctor, just to ensure that, you know, things were okay. And actually, the doctors come back and said, you know, things are absolutely fine. However, in my opinion, because I want to be optimizing things, testosterone has actually dropped a little bit since the first test. It's come down a few points. Spoke with coach yesterday, and we sort of said to each other, do you know what, at this point in the dieting phase, testosterone is going to have dropped a little bit. You know, stress is quite high, fatigue is higher. You've been in a deficit for quite a long time now, so, you know, there's a good possibility that testosterone does drop within this, you know, sort of time frame. So I think now it's just a case of, do you know what, there's 2 more weeks to go in this current phase, so we're just literally going to push towards that, and then the recovery starts. So again, guys, I want to keep you in the loop with this, because it's not just about getting into amazing shape and then forgetting about your health. You've got to take care of what's underneath the hood as well, and I'll certainly be keeping you in the loop throughout the maintenance and recovery phase as well.
Really light. Oh, not that, yeah.
Shit, that's wet. So we're moving into the last 2 weeks now. I say the last 2 weeks, and even hearing myself say that, it's not really the last 2 weeks, you know, because I've said a few times now, yeah, the shoot's gonna be amazing, which is not this Friday but next. I'm definitely gonna enjoy that, but I know just through experience, it's almost like Christmas Day, right? Or yeah, or New Year's, let's say New Year's Eve. You get to the event, there's this massive sort of build up to it. You have this huge high, and then the next day it's normal, you're back to normal, right? And I think you can get into a position where you get a little bit nonchalant about things, and forget a lot of the things that got you to the dance in the first place. And I'm so intent on not letting that happen this time, you know. For me, managing the reverse diet and the maintenance phase is almost more important. Well, it is. It's more important than what I've done leading up to it, and it's going to be more important than the shoot for so many reasons. I want to ensure that I, you know, recover from the dieting phase as well as possible. I want to be an example to my clients. I'm almost a bit of a test subject, let's say. Anything that I ever put my clients through, I want to make sure that I've walked the walk and gone through that process myself and done really well in it before I then advise my clients, you know. And this second phase of the dieting phase, the maintenance and reverse, is something I'm really intent on doing well with. Last time around, back in 2018, the lead up to it, we did great. In hindsight, potentially we pushed things to a degree where I wasn't sort of ready for the reverse diet stroke maintenance phase, took things to an unsustainable level, which when you are taking body fat to a really low level, it is kind of unsustainable, depending how far you're pushing things. But I didn't manage the reverse diet stroke maintenance phase at all. Yeah, I did the absolute opposite. So we're gonna do it a lot better this time. And I'm gonna keep you guys in a loop with that journey as well. So just got done over at Willen Lake for the sort of fasted walk and the morning reflection. So now we're gonna fire over to Rest and Recover Wellness, I believe it's called, which is just out on the outskirts of Milton Keynes. They've got a cryotherapy centre there. I got one of these sessions done at the start of this photo shoot prep. So it's going to be cool to get one in now. And hey, we're looking quite a bit better now. So that's going to be an interesting one as well, because I documented the last one. So that should be cool as well. Just about to go into the cryotherapy chamber. I believe it's minus 120 degrees, and we're going to be doing 2.5 minutes. So obviously the benefits with cryotherapy, I can't list them. We may get one of the professionals here to talk about that in a moment. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Freezing. George here, which is one of the professionals at the centre, just going to talk about a couple of the benefits that you can achieve from cryotherapy. So take it away, George.
So the main ones being the anti-inflammatory proteins that are produced by your body, and the anti-inflammatory benefits from going in there, helping reducing the risk of injuries, particularly from someone like Torian, who trains as hard as he does, as often as he does, to be able to continue at that sort of frequency and intensity. It'll also, whilst you're in there, it'll draw the blood mainly from your extremities, your hands and your feet. That's why they're covered whilst he was in there. And it'll bring it around your main core vital organs, particularly around your heart. You get super oxygenated whilst it's there. Once your body realises you're not under threat anymore, comes out of that survival mode, about 5 to 20 minutes after leaving the chamber, it will release all that super oxygenated blood further back around the body, and again help with any injuries and help with all your blood circulation, as well as where it also helps with your blood circulation is it restricts your blood vessels whilst you're in there, and once you come out they then expand again. again aiding with any kind of recovery process. Also that extra adrenaline boost you're getting from coming out, that will give you a lot of energy throughout the rest of the day, particularly where Torian's now going to go and train. He's going to feel that extra energy and hit some PBs.
As normal on Friday, we'll put a bit of a game plan whether we go one more higher day Saturday and then obviously plan of action for the week ahead.
So just had a telephone call with my coach with regard to the plan of action for the next sort of 10 days leading up to the shoot. And I think whilst, you know, a call's not always needed, sometimes it's just beneficial to have that, you know, immediate back and forth via a call, which is something that I offer to my clients as well. If they're in need of a bit more of an immediate back and forth, it can be very beneficial because you just get right to it, right? There's the back and forth that you can have over a conversation live like this at this sort of stage as well is very helpful. So yeah, it was a good call. It's a pre-workout type of day and we're going to go with the ABE all black everything. And who am I kidding? It's always a pre-workout session, let's be honest, especially at this stage. Yeah, let's get in. So back to the home gym, fierce. Starting off with one of my indicator lifts for legs, which is the banded hack squat. It was a high carb day yesterday, so we're going to make full use of this extra fuel. We're going to try for a little bit of a PB if we can. Into my second lift now, which is going to be a seated leg extension. I'm not going to mess around with any warm-up sets. Legs are nice and warm now from the hack squat, so we're just going to get straight into things with my top set, which is 15 plates. I'm going to aim for 6 as a minimum. So we're into upper body now and we're going to start with a dip. So again, it's one of my indicated lifts for upper body. It's one of my favourite lifts. Current PB with this lift is 47.5 and we got 5 last time, so let's see if we can get a minimum of that today. Going to move into a bit of a chest supported dumbbell row next, which focuses on the upper back. I think it's worth mentioning that you don't want your grip being a limiting factor, so the minute I start to feel my grip fatigue, which is usually later on in the session, I throw these in, which are some bare grips. Obviously it doesn't matter what brand you use to a degree, but again, you don't want your grip to be a limiting factor, and we want to make sure that the target muscle is worked throughout the back and not necessarily the grip as much. That's it for another episode, guys. Just got done with my session at Fierce. It was a really good session. Obviously high carb day yesterday, so I had some, felt quite pumped during the session, which was nice. That's the sort of different feeling that I've felt compared to other sessions in recent times. So what's up for next week? Let me give you a bit of an idea. So we're moving into peak week, guys. Super exciting. So we've got the photo shoot, not this Friday, but next. So I've got my plans for this week leading up to Friday. Me and Coach are gonna have another chat Friday, and then we're gonna put the plan of action for photo shoot day come the next week. So lots more in store.